Hey, it's Charlie again. So I just want to quickly show you how to make a really simple advert on Facebook. If you're selling an item or you have some sort of e-commerce business, then this is a really easy way to get some sales. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on my wife's account. She has an online brand e-commerce site selling clothing and other items. With this particular sort of Facebook ad that we're running at the moment, she's getting around 7 to 8 times return on ad spend. So I wanted to show you quickly how you can implement that into your business, and targeting your social media and website clients that have visited your profiles or your website in the past. The main reason why we choose to select these people quite a lot is because you would have built up a certain amount of trust and familiarity with that person already. So it's not like you're having to go onto Facebook and target cold audience, which is the hardest audience to try and master. So this is a much easier way into learning how to do Facebook adverts for yourself, whereby you'll get a better return potentially for your ad spend. So let me just show you. This is the t-shirt that we're going to do. We have other ads running for other stuff on the site, but this one particularly we've just taken some new images of, so we're just going to put that back out there on Facebook and try and get some more sales pushed towards it. So before we do that, I just want to show you this campaign that we're running for a different t-shirt, and we're targeting people that have visited the brand Instagram account and also Facebook accounts. So that's anyone that might have visited within the last 365 days. You can change those parameters if you want to, but I'm going to show you how to set that up so that you can target people that have visited your profiles. And as you can see on this one, it's going well. We're paying £5 per audience for this one, and we're getting a return of between 6 and 9 times, with an average of 7.68. So basically that means every pound you spend, you're getting £7.68 back. Yeah, it's going really well, this one. So we've spent a total of £48, and that has returned £371. So we're going to keep that one running for a while, but I'll show you how to set up your own campaign. So I'm assuming that you have used potentially this the business manager and the ad accounts within Facebook before. If you haven't, then potentially I would create a video to show you actually how to set that up correctly so that it works correctly and your Facebook pixel and etc. is firing properly and you've got that set up on your website. If you haven't got all that set up already, especially the Facebook pixel, then this isn't going to work for you. So this is just assuming that you've got to that stage where you've set up a Facebook pixel on your website. Let's create a new advert. A lot of people get this stage wrong. So this is where you will be telling Facebook basically what you're trying to achieve with the campaign. So we're looking for purchases, which means we need to go to conversions, and we need to select purchase in a minute on the next page. A lot of people make the mistake of spending all their money pushing traffic to their website. If you're looking for hits on your website, for example, if you just had a blog and you wanted people to go and read the blog, then the traffic conversion is perfect because it will push masses of people to you, but they won't buy anything because Facebook knows the people that will just come to your website and view rather than those that will buy. So you have to tell Facebook exactly what you want from the advert, or else they will send you traffic for whatever you're pushing for. So always use the conversion purchase. In this screen, you want to just name your campaign so you can keep track of everything. So we're just going to call this one Anchor Girl, something like socials, because that's where we're going to be targeting. So on this page you can also set up the amount that you want to spend. Don't at this stage do campaign budget optimization. That is really designed for scaling, so that's if you've got a very successful campaign and you want to try pushing it to really scale it up with a lot of money. So for the minute, make sure that's turned off. This is where we'll select the conversion event. So this is where you're telling Facebook what you're trying to get out of this advert. Obviously we want purchases. If you were to click on here, you could see some other ones that you can go for, such as add to cart. You can go for just search, or view content, which is where I say Facebook will just push people to your page that are likely to view that. So always make sure that you've picked purchase, because that's basically what you're trying to achieve. Name the ad set. So we're going to name this one Facebook plus Insta plus website, because we're going to target all of those groups at once. You set your daily budget. Ideally, you want to go anywhere between £5 and £10. Ideally, £10 to start with. Somewhere in between is fine as well. At this stage, you're just testing things out. If you try to go any less than that, under £5, you're not really going to get anywhere, to be honest with you. So it's not worth wasting your time. If you haven't created audiences before, this is where we're going to have to set up an audience. So we've already set up audiences in the past. So we have one which is engaged with Facebook page in the past 365 days. And also one that is all Instagram visits in the last 360 days. And all website visits either in the past 180 days. I think that's the maximum you can target. This is for retargeting, so this is a different reason why we've got that one. But I'll quickly show you how to set that up if you haven't done it already. So in custom audiences, you go to create new custom audience. If we were doing the website, we'll start with this button here. So we will go to website. You want to target anyone who has visited the website in, I believe the maximum we're allowed is 180 days. Yeah, on that one. So click as long as possible, because that'll give you the biggest audience possible. There's no need to exclude people at this point. Sometimes you would look to exclude people that maybe have purchased recently, but as we're pushing out to people that may have purchased something 180 days ago, you don't want to exclude anyone from this at this stage. And then name your audience. So we'll just call this web visits past 180. I'm just going to put 2 next to it so that I know that it's a duplicate. And that audience is now created. You will see that in your custom audience here. It takes Facebook a little bit of time, probably 5-10 minutes just to populate that correctly. But you can start running ads and it'll by the time you've done that, it will be good to go. Then you just want to go back in and do exactly the same for Instagram account. Make sure that you're on the correct Instagram account. I have a lot of accounts that I look after for other people, so I'm just going to have to find Love Salsy. Here we go. And here you can select everyone who has engaged with your professional account in the past 365 days. You can also, there are some other choices there, but that's the one that will basically be anyone that's done anything to do with your brand in the past 365 days. Again, name that. So we're just going to call that one Insta past 365. Again, I'm just going to put 2 next to it, so I know I've duplicated that. That is done, and then create the last one for Facebook, so your Facebook page. Again, let me just sort out the correct one. Anyone who's engaged with your page, that means literally anyone that's clicked on it, viewed it, might have stumbled across it, doesn't matter. You'll be targeting those people. And again, just put in Facebook past 365. I'm just going to put 2 next to that. And then create that audience. So that is now your audience. So we're going to be targeting these people. And like I say, these are super hot people to target because they have had some sort of interaction with your brand in the past, whether consciously or subconsciously. So by going back in front of them and presenting them with an advert, you're going to be that much more ahead than if you were to try and target somebody completely cold who had no idea about who you were. So the next tab you want to check is locations. Now this doesn't matter too much. Basically you just want to target the areas that you're prepared to deliver to. So obviously with Love Salsy we do globally, but 99% of sales come from the UK, so we'll only be targeting the United Kingdom there. As an example, if you just wanted to target Portsmouth, where I live, then you would just put in Portsmouth, England there, so you can select the exact areas that you want to target basically. But like I say, we're going to be just targeting the whole of the United Kingdom because this particular brand has people that buy from up the north of England and further afield, so there's no point in limiting where these adverts are going to be targeted, because you should never limit who or select who's going to buy your product. You should let Facebook decide and find those people for you. You'll have more success that way. the locations here, make sure that you select people living in this location. If you were to leave it on people living in or recently in this location, that means Facebook would target people that have come to England on holiday, for example, from another country. So always make sure that that is selected, people living in this location. Next here, you want to select the age range that you're targeting. Again, you should know your ideal customer avatar, so you should know who you're kind of targeting, but we know from past adverts and history that the avatar for Love Southsea is between the age range of 24 upwards. So that's basically the age range that we leave on there, so exclude everyone under 24. And again, Facebook will know after time, if you've got your pixel correctly installed, where to find those people and what age ranges it should be targeting, so you can kind of almost leave it a little bit to do its magic there. All genders I would normally leave on, I guess, unless you have a specific item that is only sold to women or men, then obviously select women or men. If not, again, leave it on all, because it will give Facebook a chance to go and find your buyers. You might be surprised actually, you know, where it can find buyers for you from, so always leave that if you can as all. We don't need to do any detailed targeting, because that is designed more for it's more for cold audiences, or if you had a specific niche that you were trying to target. For example, if you were a yoga studio, you would probably want to target people in there that were interested in yoga. So you might put that in as an interest, and then use the suggestions button to find other subjects that are related to yoga as well, so that you can really hone in on your niche. But with this, again, we're just targeting people that have visited the brand already, so there's no need to add this interest in, because Facebook knows where to go and find those people. Detailed targeting expansion I would remove, because we're not looking for Facebook to target anyone outside of our social targets that we're trying to hit. So leave that off for the minute. Automatic placements I wouldn't recommend leaving on personally, because 99% of sales come from either Instagram or Facebook, and there isn't really much point in targeting anything else, because it's wasting your money. So always turn Audience Network off and Messenger off in this instance. We will deselect everything that we don't want. So I like to leave Facebook stories and Instagram stories on, because I know that people click on those more than anything. And that's that section completed. So basically we've told Facebook what we are trying to achieve by the pixel, so we're looking for purchases. We've told it how much we want to spend per day. We've told it who we want to target, so in this instance we're targeting anyone that's engaged with the business basically over the last 12 months. A rough location, so anyone that's within the UK. Our demographic, which is all, and the placement, so where you want it to show your adverts. So next we will click to create adverts. So on this page we will just name this again Insta Facebook site target, and I'm going to put Anchor Girl because that's the name of the t-shirt that we're looking to push. Okay, make sure that you are have your Instagram and Facebook pages logged in, and your identity will come up here. Because we want to push adverts onto Instagram, you have to have that linked to your Facebook page, or else this section won't come up basically. You can create single images and what are called carousels with multiple images or videos. Now we know that with this particular brand that carousels work the best, but that doesn't mean that that's going to be the case for your business. So there is a certain amount of trial and error at the beginning of running a Facebook ad, and I would suggest that you create a single image, a video if you can, and also a carousel. You'll be able to work out within the first couple of days where the sales are coming from, and if you see that all the sales, or the large majority, are coming from, for example, the carousel, then you would know for the future to really push carousel, because that's going to work the best for your business. Now we're going to populate this advert with the new images that we've got. So I want to select an image. I already have these images loaded because I've loaded them previously. This is, if you didn't, then you'd obviously just use the upload button here and add your pictures to the database, for the Facebook database. So we're going to add these two images here as a carousel. So you can crop your images. I think, yeah, recommended on this one is 9:16, so we'll do that because that's what Facebook's telling us is going to work best. Headline, you can write anything here. So if you had free shipping, you could put that there and it will come up just below the advert here. Or if it was a limited edition like this one, we could put limited edition. Description, you could put the cost. So this t-shirt is £20, so we're going to add that in there. Again, you can write anything in these points. I wouldn't put too much information in here because the majority of the text you want to be in the primary text area here. Make sure that you've got the correct URL in this point because this is where people are going to be clicking. So we just need to make sure that we've got this URL of this page here, and we'll insert it there. And now we move on to the second image. So you can, if you had for example, if you had two styles of t-shirt that you were trying to push here, you could change the cost a bit, or the description of that specific item underneath on a carousel. This is obviously just multiple images of the same item, so I'm just again going to put £20 and limited edition in there. The URL is correct because it's copied it from the first image. We're going to change the picture, so we're going to add this second picture in here. Again, crop it to the recommended size, whatever you think looks good. I'm just going to do 2 images. I believe you can do up to 10 maximum on a carousel, and that can also be a mix of video and images. Although if you do that, you will limit where you can place the advert. I don't think it will place it onto the Facebook main feed, for example, if you do that. So I would recommend either just using videos or images. Again, this is preference. I like to remove this end card with the profile picture on it because it looks rubbish, so I always take that off. And I always leave this selected on. Basically allows Facebook to automatically show the best performing image first. So as people start to click and interact with your advert, Facebook will quickly be able to work out which of the adverts is bringing in most traffic, and then it will present more people with that image because it knows that it's performing best and will give you the biggest return on your ad spend. So this is now where we will add primary text. I'm just going to make something up, but you would just put in here your description for whatever item you're trying to sell, obviously. So I'm just going to put grab our limited edition Anchor Girl tea before they're all gone. And you can, I like to add an emoji here, so if you can find a nice emoji, we use a blue heart because that's relevant to the brand, but you can put whatever you want there, and then obviously there's lots of space to put more text down the bottom here if you have some bullet points or other information you want to add to the advert. I'm just going to do that as an example. The see more URL, you can use the same URL that you've been using for the product there, so we'll just add that in there. Now the call to action, you can experiment with these, so you can see what works best with your audience. We tend to just use shop now because obviously we're a shop, so it makes the most sense, but you can also use learn more, which is quite a good one when you're using e-commerce. But yeah, I would recommend probably using shop now. And then that's created. So you would publish that advert. Facebook will go off and your advert will be put into their algorithms, and Mark Zuckerberg will either approve it or disapprove it. If he disapproves it, there's a button that you can click to get it manually reviewed, which basically means that someone will have a look at it and realise that they've made a mistake, and then they'll approve it in most cases. So that's the advert set up now. We're targeting feeds on Instagram and also Facebook news feed and Facebook stories and Instagram stories. And depending on whether you use a single image or video or carousel will determine where Facebook will allow you to show the images, basically. That's it. That's a cost-effective way of creating an advert that will go back and target people that you have introduced or have seen your brand in some way in the past. And like I say, those are the way you'll see the biggest returns because you're not having to target cold audiences. So if you're kind of looking to experiment with Facebook ads a bit more, and work out what isn't resonating with your audience. And I would definitely recommend doing that first before trying to target cold audiences, because it will give you more of an idea of what will resonate with cold audiences when you're ready to take that next step. So I hope that helped. If you need any advice, or you would like to know more about setting up ad accounts or perhaps Facebook pixels on your website, then let me know, and maybe I'll create some videos just explaining how to do that as well.